Recent studies have revealed something terrifying. The 5 daily habits that are quietly ruining seniors' health after 60 aren't alcohol, smoking, or fast food. They're your so-called healthy routines. According to data from over 30 and older adults analyzed by the Journal of Geriatric Wellness, 99% of seniors over 60 are doing at least 3 of these habits every day, unknowingly accelerating aging, inflammation, and brain decline. These aren't things you'd ever suspect. They're things you've probably been praised for doing. Things your doctor might have encouraged. Things you've built your routine around for years. But here's the part that stings. If you felt your legs getting stiffer, your sleep shallower, your memory foggier, your energy gone by noon, it might not be aging. It might be 5 hidden habits slowly undoing your health one day at a time. And nobody told you. That's why we're here. Because today you'll finally see what's been hiding in plain sight. David Parker, 66, from Tucson, Arizona, was the kind of man you'd expect to live to 100. He walked 2 miles every morning. He ate oatmeal, blueberries, and flaxseed for breakfast. He drank green tea instead of coffee. He slept early, read books, and had never smoked in his life. But when he wrote to us, he said something chilling. "I'm doing everything right, and still I feel like I'm disappearing." His legs were weak, his thoughts were foggy. He lost interest in social events. He forgot names. He even stopped playing the piano, a lifelong joy. His doctor said, "You're just getting older." But David didn't believe it, because this wasn't just aging. This was erosion. And he's not alone. Most seniors don't fall apart because of illness. They fall apart because of erosion. Slow, invisible, daily damage to muscles, sleep quality, brain function, hormone balance, emotional resilience, and yes, joy. The worst part? The damage often comes from routines we trust, that we've followed for decades, that feel good but harm us long term. Think about it. How many things are you doing each day simply because someone told you it's healthy? Toast with fruit in the morning, sitting peacefully after meals, drinking herbal tea at bedtime, staying indoors to avoid strain, keeping worries to yourself to not burden others. They all sound nice. But in the aging body, context changes everything. What once worked at 45 may become harmful at 65, because our circulation, metabolism, hormones, and brain plasticity all shift. And without adjusting our habits, even good things can become slow poisons. In this video, we're going to expose the 5 most common yet damaging habits after 60 and show you exactly how to replace each one with simple, restorative alternatives. You'll meet Gary, who thought walking daily was enough until a fall changed everything. Margaret, who trusted her bedtime tea until it began aging her brain. Harold, who loved his clean breakfast but couldn't figure out his joint pain. Susan, who embraced peaceful solitude until she felt her spark vanish. And Deborah, who held her worries in silence and paid with her energy. Each of them had done their best. Each of them trusted the advice they were given. And each of them discovered, often painfully, that some habits only feel safe until they're not. What makes this video different from the usual senior health tips or healthy aging advice isn't just that we give facts. It's that we give you real lives, real mistakes, real wisdom. This isn't about guilt, it's about clarity. You'll walk away knowing what's slowly breaking your vitality and how to fix it, how to support longevity naturally without pills or pressure, why wisdom after 60 means unlearning, not just learning, and how to turn every small change into a turning point. Because aging gracefully doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. So now I want to ask you a question, the same one we asked David. What's one daily habit you've never questioned until now? Is it your breakfast, your nighttime wind down, The way you spend your afternoons? Or the things you no longer say out loud? Leave a comment below. Tell us what habit you've trusted for years and are beginning to rethink so others can find it, connect with it, and perhaps heal because of it. If you've been feeling tired for no reason, or if you've been doing everything right and still losing strength, clarity, or joy, stay with me, because you're not broken. You've just been missing the full picture, and it starts right now. In part 2, you'll meet Gary and discover why too much sitting, yes, even with daily walks, is silently weakening your heart, your legs, and your brain. And the 3-minute shift that restored his energy. Let's begin. Let's start with something most people never realize. Even when your daily routine feels healthy, it can still quietly wear you down, especially after 60. Take Gary M., 67, from Arizona. He's retired, walks 2 miles each morning, eats home-cooked meals, does gentle stretches every evening. But a few months ago, something strange happened. While reaching into the kitchen cabinet for a jar, he suddenly felt off balance. Not dizzy, not tired, just unstable. He didn't think much of it, but the feeling kept returning. His legs felt weaker, his mind foggier, his balance shakier. So he went to the doctor. No red flags in his blood work. Heart was fine. The neurologist even said, "Gary, you seem in great shape for your age." But one younger physician asked him a simple question. "Gary, how many hours a day do you sit?" At first he laughed. "I'm active every morning." But then he paused. Breakfast, sitting. Reading, sitting. Watching TV, sitting. Email, sitting. Afternoon rest, sitting. Dinner and Netflix, more sitting. Altogether, over 10 hours a day. Here's the truth many don't know. Being physically active for 1 hour does not cancel out sitting for 10. A large 2021 study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Medicine found that adults over 60 who sit for more than 8 hours per day have significantly higher risk of cardiovascular decline, even if they meet minimum activity guidelines. Why? Because prolonged sitting triggers changes in the body, such as decreased circulation to the legs and brain, reduction in insulin sensitivity, drop in lymphatic drainage, core weakness and loss of muscle tone, increased joint stiffness and fluid buildup. It's not about working out more. It's about breaking up stillness. Gary didn't start a new workout plan. He simply changed his rhythm. Every 45 to 60 minutes, he did one of the following. Marched in place for 2 minutes while listening to the news, took a slow lap around the house, did 10 standing calf raises holding on to the sink, practiced balance with a single leg stand, stretched his spine with 2 wall rolls. After just 3 weeks, he noticed better posture, less fog in the afternoons, steadier legs, and more energy. And he shared with us, it's not about intense workouts anymore. It's about choosing not to let my body fall asleep during the day. Now let's talk about a time of day that seems harmless, your evening routine. Margaret D., 72, had her evenings dialed in. Cup of chamomile tea around 9:30 p.m., reading a paperback novel, lavender oil in a diffuser, cozy slippers, no screens after 8. Sounds ideal, right? But Margaret still woke up feeling groggy sometimes, even more tired than when she went to bed. She assumed it was just aging, light sleep, hormones. But something wasn't adding up. A 2022 study from Neurology and Aging revealed that micro-interruptions in sleep, even those that don't wake you up fully, can significantly reduce memory consolidation and mood stability in older adults. What causes these interruptions? Drinking fluids late, causing bladder pressure, reading while reclined, causing lymphatic pooling in the legs, warm bedrooms above 70 degrees, inconsistent light exposure disrupting melatonin, overstimulating thoughts just before bed. Margaret was doing everything calm, but some elements were quietly overactivating her system. Margaret didn't throw away her routine. She shifted just a few things. Had her tea by 7:45 p.m. instead of 9:30, sat fully upright while reading, opened the window for a 10-minute cool-down, used amber reading lights instead of ceiling bulbs, practiced a short 4-4-6 breathing pattern before lying down. Result? She messaged us 2 weeks later and said, "I didn't just sleep longer. I woke up feeling refreshed, like my brain had actually rested." Sleep is not just rest. It's your body's natural reset button. And what you do in the 2 hours before bed can either turn that button on or mute it. In PARS, you'll uncover a healthy breakfast food that might be fueling joint discomfort, a quiet emotional pattern often mistaken for peace that might be affecting your energy and immune system. You'll meet Harold, a former coach learning to eat for comfort and recovery, and Susan, a widow who discovered that too much solitude had quietly drained her joy. If you've ever wondered whether aging gracefully is really possible, Part 3 will shift your view. Because it's not about avoiding age. It's about activating wisdom and letting your daily habits reflect that wisdom. Let's talk about breakfast. You've heard it all before. Start the day with whole grains. Oatmeal is heart-healthy. Fruit juice gives natural energy. But what if one of the most recommended senior breakfasts was actually working against your joints, brain, and immune system? Meet Harold T., 70, a retired football coach from Ohio. Every morning, like clockwork, he'd make himself a bowl of instant oats, a banana, a glass of orange juice. He believed this was perfect low-fat, full of fiber and packed with vitamin C. But by 11 a.m., Harold was rubbing his knees, reaching for coffee, feeling brain fog. He thought it was just age, until his daughter, a nutrition student, asked him to track one simple thing. "Dad, can you write down what you eat and how you feel 90 minutes later?" Here's what they found. According to a 2022 report from the Journal of Nutrition and Aging, high glycemic breakfasts, like instant oats, bananas juice, may cause rapid blood sugar spikes, mid-morning crashes in focus and energy, elevated cortisol, the body's stress hormone, increased inflammatory markers, especially in joints and brain tissue. This doesn't mean carbs are bad. But when refined carbs aren't balanced with protein or healthy fats, the result is often more fatigue, more inflammation, and less mobility. Many seniors mistake this cycle as normal aging, when it's really poor breakfast chemistry. With small tweaks, Harold saw big shifts. He swapped instant oats to steel-cut oats or chia pudding, orange juice to whole orange or sliced apple, added 1 boiled egg, a spoon of almond butter, cinnamon for brain health. In just 1 week, Harold reported, "My knees don't ache by 10 a.m. anymore. No more coffee crash at noon. I feel more steady physically and mentally." Now, let's move from food to feelings. Specifically, the kind that hides behind quiet walls. A still house, a silent phone, a calm afternoon. Some call it peace, others call it loneliness. Susan B., 74, from Oregon, lost her husband 3 years ago. She kept her days simple: tea in the morning, a clean house, a few favorite books, quiet walks alone. She thought she was doing well. "I wasn't crying, I wasn't upset, but I wasn't anything. I was just still." Until one morning, brushing her hair, she caught her reflection and whispered, "I don't look peaceful. I look disconnected." According to the National Institute on Aging, prolonged social isolation in seniors is linked to 50% greater risk of cognitive decline, accelerated immune fatigue, higher inflammation markers, sleep irregularity, and chronic low energy. But here's the problem. Emotional numbness is quiet. It feels normal. No tears, no alarms, just quiet days that slowly turn gray. She didn't rush to join a senior center or move cities. Instead, she started with 3 gentle shifts: voice messages to 2 old friends each week, an online book club for retirees, 1 comment per session, volunteering at the library for 1 hour a week. She also created a connection corner in her living room, a cozy chair where she'd write postcards to people she cared about, reflect on small joys, watch the sunrise with intention. Week by week, Susan said, I began hearing my own laughter again. A 2023 study in the Journal of Senior Mental Health showed that seniors who engaged in weekly purposeful interaction had 38% higher emotional stability, reported improved balance and reduced physical fatigue, showed stronger cognitive resilience even in their 70s and 80s. Connection heals more than feelings. It impacts the body. Stillness, when filled with purpose, becomes peace. Stillness, when filled with nothing, becomes disconnection. In Part 4, you'll reveal a common vitamin missing in 80% of seniors, a relaxation habit that may actually dull your memory, and 2 inspiring stories: Raymond and Linda, who found their energy again through simple shifts. Stay with us, because life after 60 is not about fading away. It's about coming alive with clarity, connection, and compassion. After a long day, what's more comforting than settling into your favorite chair, turning on the TV, and letting the evening pass by? Sounds harmless. But what if this familiar ritual done every evening was quietly draining your clarity, your focus, even your memory? Let's talk about habit number 5 and the story of Linda, a retired nurse who didn't realize something was off until it almost cost her independence. Linda, 71, had her routine down to the minute. Dinner at 6, TV from 6:30 to 9, then straight to bed. The shows were calming, the news was familiar, and she liked the background noise. But over time, she began noticing strange changes. She'd forget why she entered a room. Her dreams became restless. She woke up tired even after 8 hours in bed. I was doing everything by the book, she said, eating well, sleeping early, avoiding stress. But I still felt foggy. She brushed it off. She told herself it was normal. Until one afternoon, she walked out of the grocery store and forgot where she parked. She stood still for 20 minutes, feeling her heart race, unsure if she was just tired or if something deeper was going wrong. A 2022 study from the Harvard Division of Sleep Medicine found that blue light from screens delays melatonin release. Evening screen use reduces deep sleep cycles in adults over 60. Repetitive content, like looping TV shows, dulls memory retention. Passive watching lowers alpha brainwave activity, the state needed for memory consolidation. The result? You sleep, but your brain doesn't restore. You rest, but you don't recover. Even more surprising, long-term nightly screen exposure was linked to faster cognitive aging than occasional stress. And yet most seniors do it daily without question. Raymond W., 69, from Minnesota, also had a similar nightly habit: 3 hours of television every night. After a mild fall and a failed memory quiz at his doctor's office, he decided to try something different. For 30 days, Raymond replaced the last hour of TV with a 15-minute breathing practice, 10 pages from a book he loved, journaling one memory from his childhood or family. At first, he felt strange, unproductive, restless. But by day 12, he began to notice something subtle. He was remembering his dreams again. By week 3, he was falling asleep faster and waking up with clearer thoughts. At his follow-up appointment, his doctor smiled and said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." Inspired by Linda and Raymond, here's a gentle 3-step evening ritual to support your brain after 60. Cut off screens 1 hour before bed. Replace screen time with one of the following: listening to calming instrumental music or natural sounds, writing down 3 things you felt grateful for, reading a poem or prayer slowly aloud. Create a wind-down space. 1 chair, 1 soft light, 1 warm blanket as your brain's cue to transition into rest. Linda added her own touch. Every night before lying down, she whispered one intention for tomorrow. Something simple like, "Tomorrow I will water the garden. Tomorrow I will call my niece. Tomorrow I will walk with curiosity." It wasn't magic, but it was steady, and it helped her feel connected to her life again. If this video has given you something to think about, maybe even something to try, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button so we know this message reached the right heart. Subscribe if you want more stories, science, and steps to keep growing after 60. And if you feel comfortable, tell us, what does a peaceful night mean to you these days? We'd love to read your thoughts. If you've stayed with us through all 5 habits, let me remind you, you didn't come here to be afraid. You came here to remember your strength. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about becoming aware. Because awareness is what gives you back your choices. These 5 habits, sitting too long, sugary breakfasts, emotional numbness, skipped movement, screen time before bed, aren't just routines. They're signals. They're showing us where we've let life become automatic and inviting us to reclaim our days, gently, 1 habit at a time. You're not too old, you're not too late, you're not stuck. You are wiser now than you've ever been, and wisdom is the most powerful starting point of all. Let this be your reminder. There's still so much life left in you. Choose it, shape it, and share it with someone who may be quietly waiting for a spark, just like you were.